Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Marie's Bundesliga Minutes. I am in the public garden in Central Park, so just surrounded by beautiful cherry blossoms and other trees, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the scenery because we have a lot to talk about on this Monday. Overnight, of course, the 12 founding members of the European Super League confirmed the rumors and came out with a joint statement. And it is a little bit of a surprise that among these clubs there are no German teams. Bayern and Dortmund were supposedly both approached, and both came out saying that they will not participate in this kind of organization. And interestingly enough, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, Bayern's chairman, even agreed today to succeed Andrea Agnelli, the chairman of Juventus Turin, as head of the European Club Association, the kind of governing body of clubs that negotiates with UEFA as far as Champions League and Europa League reforms are concerned. The UEFA is very angry. Alexander Ceferin, the president, launched some personal attacks on Ed Woodward and Agnelli, saying that they are like snakes and that they are greedy. So this is gonna be quite a dirty campaign. In the meantime, the other top teams in Germany, namely Gladbach and Leipzig, also came out with statements today saying that they will not participate in this kind of competition, and criticizing this as, I mean, in Leipzig it was Oliver Minzlaff, the sporting director, who said that this goes against competitive values of the sport, you know, where you qualify based on achievement in your domestic league, and that is not what RB Leipzig wants to stand for. So wow, quite the day. And you know, Postillon, which is kind of a satirical magazine in Germany, came out with a joke that Schalke would actually be a founding member of the Super League, which is of course biting irony because they are currently trailing the second last team in the Bundesliga, Cologne, by 10 points, and look likely to be relegated. If they lose tomorrow against Arminia Bielefeld, they will be relegated. But that just goes to show, you know, that really the, in my opinion, arrogance of these clubs. I mean, take an Arsenal, you know, they drew in the last minute against the 18th side in the Premier League this weekend. They're currently 9th in the Premier League, and suddenly they're supposed to be one of the 12 super teams of European football. That is just, you know, they just deserve automatic qualification each year. I don't like it. I think that it goes against everything we teach children when they learn a sport, you know, that it's about humility and hard work, and it's a sport for everyone. It's about achievement, you know, every game starts 0-0, and any team and any player can upset a bigger team on a good day, and those values are being kind of kicked, you know, with this creation. So that's my 2 cents. And the other big news this weekend was, of course, Hansi Flick, who, without warning the Bayern board, who supposedly were already on their way to the airport after their game against Wolfsburg, said that he would retire. Not retire, sorry, that is the wrong word in this case, but rather that he wants out of his contract. And of course his contract at Bayern runs until 2023, so another 2 years, and he wants out of his contract in the summer. He's asked to be released from it, and this is looking to get kind of ugly because, of course, with Joachim Löw's departure from the German national team, it appears that Hansi Flick is destined to go back to the German Federation, where he was Joachim Löw's assistant when Germany won the 2014 World Cup. But this could get very dirty because, you know, with his running contract, it appears like the German Federation, the DFB, will need to pay Bayern Munich a fee, you know, basically they'll need to pay to like a transfer fee to get Flick services, and that may help Bayern Munich then break another coach's contract, because we know from many years it's a pretty much the most open flirtation in German football that Julian Nagelsmann, who himself owns a house in Bavaria, who grew up in Bavaria, is destined to be Bayern coach at some point in his life, and it's looking like he might be on his way there sooner rather than later. That is if RB Leipzig agrees to let him go. Nagelsmann's release clause is between 15 and 20 million euros, so that would be an unprecedented fee for a coach in German football. And in my opinion, this was just a matter of time, because who's to say that a coach has lesser value than a big signing player? If anything, a coach has more value to the success of a team. So Nagelsmann is among the creme de la creme of European coaches, probably among the top 5 most exciting coaches that any European super team, even those in the Super League, would love to have coach their squad of prima donnas and superstars. And yeah, so it's looking like the carousel of coaches might be twisting and turning this summer, because what if he leaves? Then Leipzig will need to find someone else. They might look towards Jesse Marsch, who coaches RB or FC Salzburg, their sister team in Austria. The American is also a very promising young coach. We also have to remember that Frankfurt will need to find a replacement for Adi Hütter, who's joining Gladbach. So this is, there are some very attractive coaching positions, probably Champions League level playing coaching positions that will be open in European and indeed in German football in the summer. Okay, well, now to talk about Borussia Dortmund again. They had a convincing victory against Werder Bremen this weekend, and after 7 games for club and country where Erling Haaland did not find the back of the net, he came back with a vengeance this time. He scored 2 goals, a brace in the first half, and there were many opportunities for him to add to that tally and score a hat-trick. And it's very normal, I think, for a player who's 20 years old to have, I mean, I don't even know if you can call it stints of bad form if it's just 7 games in all competitions, but I think we have to be forgiving of that because he's still so young, and Dortmund really should savor any game that they have, because it's only a matter of time until he leaves the club. Gio Reyna was also very good in this game, scored a goal, deservedly so, and yeah, this was a very Dortmund-like performance. They actually conceded first and then turned things around, winning 4-1 in the end. So a very convincing victory from the black and yellows. And yeah, so they are now only 4 points behind Frankfurt in 4th place, and with 5 games remaining, there's still a minimal chance that they might be able to qualify for Champions League football in the next year, whatever that may then look like, because if the Super League is to launch soon, I think 2022 is currently the expected start date. What will that mean for the Champions League? What teams will compete there? Could we see a Dortmund-Bayern final again in the absence of the mega teams from Italy, Spain and England? I think we have a lot to watch this week in the news. And if anything, I just wanted to end on a note, because I am in New York City, as you know, and it was JP Morgan, the big American investment bank based in New York City on Wall Street, that is bankrolling this new Super League to the tune of 3.5 billion euros. And many of the club owners, including some of the 6 British teams, the English teams, that are part of the Super League, are owned by American entities. You need to just look at Arsenal and Manchester United to start with, and we can talk a little bit about American sports, because in American sports, such as the in the big leagues of the 4 American sports, the NHL, the NBA, Major League Baseball and the NFL, there is no such thing as relegation or promotion. Teams compete year after year. if you don't compete, you're not really punished. Actually, in many cases, it means that you get to sign better players through the draft, a centralized market for signing teams, for signing players and young rookies from the college system. And in some ways, this is, in my opinion, the Americanization of the world's most popular sport. And it will be really interesting to see how that is received, what the effects of that may be, especially as we know with the World Cup in 2026 coming to the US. So I think the influence of the world's richest country on the world's most popular sport is only going to grow. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you for listening to episode 10, so a Jubilee episode, an anniversary episode for me of Marie's Bundesliga Minutes. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Marie Schubo, that's MarieSchubo. And yeah, send me a tweet if you want me to discuss anything in particular. And I hope to hear from you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.